Okay, welcome back. We're up to Red, Taylor Swift Red, the fourth album. Just judging by how it looks in the album cover, looks like more of that adult sort of contemporary sort of vein, bit more rock and a bit more than her earlier country efforts. I'm pretty confident it's going to be better than her latest release. So yeah, as before, we're going to have a listen from start to finish. And then if it reminds me of anything, if I see a writer or a producer that reminds me of something that I've already heard, that's what I'm going to listen to after this is finished. Then we'll compare the two and we will see how we go. Okay, let's go. Taylor Swift, Red. Oh, straight away, very impressed. First, alright, what have you got? 9 seconds of the first track. Pumping drums. It sounds like real drums. Wow. Very impressive. Okay, let's get it rolling. Wow. Well, there's the second song, Red. Written by Taylor Swift, but I just did a bit of research on it and produced by Dan Huff. So that tells me exactly where I'm going after this album. I'm going to be listening to the band called Giant, which is led by Dan Huff. He, lead guitar and vocals and writes the whole thing. So I'm going to be listening to either the debut or the second album. I'll see which way I go after this is finished. But yeah, you can tell. Pardon me. You can tell straight away what a hard rockin' track is, and that's Dan Huff's influence all over it. Absolutely, yeah, good stuff. This is the first Taylor Swift album I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying it so much I'm starting to lose my voice. Wow. Okay, well let's carry on, and yeah, see how hopefully the rest of the album holds up to the finish. Well, unfortunately, it's gone downhill pretty quick. And as soon as I heard this song, and then did a bit of research on it and looked who was responsible for this, bang! Look at that, straight away. Right there, Max Martin, the man that's pretty much responsible for 95% of the latest album, and why it doesn't sound very good at all. And of course, is written for all the boy bands and all those big female pop artists like Britney Spears and whoever else over the years. You can definitely churn out a hit that appeals to 14-year-old girls who listen to it once. And that's about it. But they listen to it in their millions. That's why they make all the money. But yeah, as far as a good song, and a song that's going to last the test of time, definitely ain't going to do that. So yeah, so I don't really hold out too many high hopes for the rest of this album. But I will struggle to get through it. And I'm very looking forward to listening to Giant when this is finished. Oh, there we go. This started out really positive. The first track was a cracker. Second one just as good. Of course, that was the Dan Huff produced song. Then we got on the Max Martin stuff and took a bit of a nosedive. Then song 5, which is I Knew You Were Trouble, was Liz Rose pen song. She worked with Taylor Swift a fair bit on her, especially the second and third album, so that brings back that real country flavour. So yeah, that is what it is. It's not my favourite style of music, but it's still quality music, much better than the Max Martin stuff, that's for sure. But then it just rolls on with a couple of more Max Martin songs, and it's the same stuff. That Spotify sort of clicky bait sort of music, which is going to get lots of clicks, as long as they get millions and millions of listens on it, they're sort of happy. Then it goes through to a track 14. I think it's 14. But I must say, there's like way too many tracks on these albums. They just drag on forever. Yeah, Ed Sheeran song sings with Taylor Swift, probably the most boringest performer in the history of the world, so he doesn't really add much to that. and yeah, and then we just carry on with a couple of stock standard Taylor Swift songs. So yeah, as I said, first two songs I was really excited. I thought, wow, this is going to be pretty good. But then, as I said, it just drags on. It's yeah, pretty of a tedious task trying to get through these. But I'm gonna soldier on, and now I'm very much looking forward to listening to a Dan Huff album. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so here we go with Giant. This is their first album, debut, Last of the Runaways. Now please, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, can you please just put this album on and listen to the first song? That's all I ask. First song only. And tell me that this just doesn't blow your socks off. They compare it to the first album of Red, or the first song I should say, Red. And I'm telling you, it's just doesn't compare. You got Dan Huff just buddy ripping straight into a massive guitar riff and solo, and then the drums kicking, and then the song starts, and it's a classic, super melodic songs with hooks all the way through it. Unbelievable. It just doesn't even compare. Even production's better. It's like 1989. Production just kills it, man. Just what that means is just sounds so much clearer and precise and bigger. Like it's louder, but it's not really louder. It doesn't like hurt your ears, but it just sounds bigger. Unbelievable. Then you've got Innocent Days. Then you've got it just rolls on. One classic rolls on to the next. I'll See You in My Dreams is a big, one of those big classic power ballads of that era. Then all the way through the end of the album, just every song's absolute knock your socks off rocker. So this just slays Taylor Swift's Red. I don't like to bag Taylor Swift out all the time, but it's just so clear. So I'm going to give Taylor Swift I'll give that album I'll be nice to it. I'll give it 8 out of 10 because those first two songs are absolute cracker. She could have dropped off probably 7 of those songs and made a shorter album, and it would have been much better. But this last of the Runaways has got to be a 9.5 at least. Almost a 10 actually. It's almost a perfect album from start to finish. So please, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, can you please listen to this? It's very easily available on Spotify and Apple Music and all those music platforms, streaming platforms. So okay, so we'll leave it for there. We'll see you next time, and we'll see what the next Swift album's like. See you later. Bye.